Good people of YouTube, my name is Spanner and welcome to Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars. So I'm in a point-and-click adventure mood lately, and since I've never played this game series before, I thought, well, why not give it a go? Well, actually, I lie. I've played this one for about an hour, I think. I think I made 2 or 3 videos of this game, but then I just, I didn't continue with it. So, let's start this thing properly, shall we? Okay, so, new game it is.
Paris, city of love, romance and dreams. So they say. I used to say it too. But ever since that day, the day of the murder, I've always associated my beloved Paris with death. I was at home having a bath when my editor called.
Collard, get your ass over to the Palais Royal now. You got an interview. With Pierre Carchon. Yes, the Pierre Carchon. No photos, so leave your gear at home. He asked for you personally. Don't ask me why. Anyhow, this could be big, so if he makes a pass, don't forget. Just smile, say yes, and keep taking notes.
So charming and so very apt. Pierre Carchon was a media king, a national hero, and one of the most infamous adulterers in Europe. He and his wife Imelda were just one step down from royalty. Whoa, I hate mimes, but unless you humor them, they don't go away. Here I was, the palace of the Media King and the Ice Queen. I pressed the doorbell and set in motion a chain of events which would change my life forever.
Yes? What is it?
Madame, my name is Nico Collard. I'm here to see Monsieur Carchon.
Come up, we're on the first floor.
Madame Carchon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm sure.
The Ice Queen was certainly living up to her reputation. Will you be staying for the interview?
Mademoiselle, I know little of my husband's business affairs, and I care even less. I certainly have no intention of watching him pore over yet another pretty little journalist.
Pretty? You're too kind, madame.
The talented and very beautiful Mademoiselle Collard. Such a pleasure to meet you at last.
Monsieur Carchon, I am honored.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Call me Pierre, please. But I do not flatter you idly. I was a friend of your father. He was a great man.
My father, he never mentioned.
He and I were very close. And then his death. So tragic. I must... Imelda, your damned cat's in my study again. Another Ming vase, I suppose. Excuse me for one moment, my dear girl.
You journalists are getting younger each year.
Perhaps it's the rest of the world getting older, madame. That was no cat.
God,
What? Monsieur Carson?
He's dead. I must call the police. You'd better stay here.
There was a man. It was the mime. Do you think he...
Well, I believe we can rule out suicide, don't you?
No wonder they called her the Ice Queen. She would have been top of my list of suspects if I hadn't seen the attacker myself. And if I hadn't come across a couple of murders just like this already. One of the most important men in Europe murdered. And here was I, Nico Coulard, alone at the scene of the crime. Should I wait for the cops? Or start my own investigation? It was a no-brainer.
Yeah, we're gonna wait for the cops, right? Wrong. Move the mouse pointer. Yes. Basically, basic point and click game instructions. Left mouse button to perform the action. Briefcase opens the inventory diary. Question mark for hints. Spanner icon to save and restore. Okay. We have no inventory. We have our diary here. Oh, the font size is very small though. Let's see. This is just telling us what has happened so far. Okay. So you can investigate. One thing though, I noticed when the mime opened the window, he didn't have... Usually when I see that kind of stuff in movies, they have like a suction cup attached to the glass. So it is, so they can remove it easily and without it falling. I don't know how we got it out without us listening the glass, well, without the possibility of the glass breaking and us hearing that. But hey, let's do some investigation here.
The bookcase was filled with obscure first editions. A bust of Pierre Cauchon, humble servant of La France.
First rule of point and click games, click everything. Although sometimes I fail at this, I usually just click everything in the room, talk to everyone and then move to the next room. But then if I miss something in that room, I do not know it because I assume I got everything and then I get stuck because of that. Let's hope it does not happen.
Pierre Cauchon again. His eyes seemed to follow me around the room. A small round piece of glass had been cut out of the pane. This was a professional job.
Wait, why would they cut it all the way up here? Wouldn't it be better to cut it near the handles here to open the window?
The killer must have used a ladder to reach the window. He was long gone. Guess he folded that ladder up, popped it in his pocket and took it with him. I didn't want to cut myself and leave blood on the glass. Call me old-fashioned, but I like to keep my DNA to myself.
Okay. Let's examine the body.
Mimes and guns don't usually go together, but I had an idea that this was no ordinary mime. I'd come across this murderer before, and written about him. The costume killer, at least that's what I'd called him.
What's this?
It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact. It must have fallen when I was knocked down. I closed his eyes. It was the least I could do for the poor fellow. I opened his eyes. Best to leave the crime scene as I found it.
Yeah. Let's see.
Some people hate searching corpses for clues. Me, I'm okay with it. Reminds me of an old boyfriend.
What's this?
In his pocket, I found a ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. Taking the ticket meant I tampered with the evidence. There was no going back now. Carchon had been shot.
Anything else here? I don't think so. Are we done? Can I examine things?
It was a boat ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. When I was a little girl, Papa used to take me on the Bateau Mouche as a treat. It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact.
Okay, I don't think there's anything else we can do here. Not that I can see, so let's go on to the next room.
The police could turn up at any minute. Somewhere there were clues to the murder, and I needed to find them.
Can I open this door?
The door was locked.
Can I use my hairpin to open the door?
It was going to take more than a hair clip to open the door. I needed the key.
Okay. Okay, let's examine the entire room.
A medieval pageant. Original, no doubt. The tapestry must have cost a fortune.
What's this?
I reckoned that cloth might just turn out to be useful.
And what's this?
Even my fingernail wouldn't fit into such a small hole.
Maybe the hairpin? Aha!
Ah, Nico, you are just so damn good at this stuff. Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because there was something going on here, and I had to get answers before the cops arrived. And hey, she'd been rude to me, so she had it coming.
Can I close this? I guess not. What is this?
A key. Maybe a safe key. Imelda had talent, but I certainly wasn't going to tell her that. It was a tube of acrylic paint. French ultramarine. Just the color I was after for my bathroom.
I'm sorry, I have to go. Someone is...
Young lady, what are you doing? Oh, this paint. It's my favorite color.
For God's sake, keep the damn stuff.
Okay, let's speak with her, see if she knows something.
Excuse me, madame.
Yes?
Oh, this is the kind of stuff we can ask about, and I guess we can ask about the items too.
I am so sorry for your loss, madame.
No, you're not. You're a journalist. Journalists don't feel sorry.
Not true.
We shall see.
Why did your husband send for me? What did he want to discuss?
I have no idea. His business was his business.
He never told you anything.
No, and frankly, I preferred it that way.
How did your husband know my father?
I have no idea.
You didn't know him? Thierry Coulard?
Pierre knew a lot of people I didn't know, most of them women.
Why would a mime want to kill your husband?
Pierre had plenty of enemies. Half the husbands in Paris for a start. This is quite a scoop for you. I suppose you're already inventing the headlines.
Just because I am a journalist.
Don't patronize me. You're all cut from the same cloth. Do you have any moral sense at all?
Maybe.
Yes, that's why I do this job.
You do it to see your name in print.
As if. My editor gets the byline, I just do the work.
Well, don't expect my sympathy.
The police will be here soon, madame. Is there anybody you would like me to contact? Family, friends?
No, I have no family. Pierre and I were... He was all I had, really. Not much, was it? The dutiful wife? That was my role. He never talked, never let me in.
I know one thing, madame.
What?
If you want to find out who killed your husband, then you let me do the job, not the police.
Why? How do I know I can trust you?
Your husband invited me here today because he needed me. I think he knew somebody wanted to kill him, and he knew I could help.
I doubt it was your database he was after.
You're wrong. I was onto his killers already, I am sure of it. Please, you owe it to him.
I don't know.
All I need is a few more minutes to look around before the police come.
You really do have a moral sense, don't you? I trust so few people. And perhaps Pierre really did think that you could help. Of course it wouldn't have stopped him seducing you too. Here, take this. It's the key to the drawing room next to the library at the end of the hall. It was Pierre's room. I rarely went in there. I couldn't. I was too scared of what I might find.
Thank you. I promise you won't regret this.
Okay, so that, the whole choice between good and evil in the dialogue is pretty cool. I don't think I've seen that in a game such as this before.
Madame Cachon,
Please call me Imelda. We hardly need the formalities now, do we?
did Monsieur Cachon say nothing to you about my father?
No. I'm sorry, he never mentioned him.
Can I ask about stuff?
I needed to open the drawing room door before giving Imelda back the key. The last thing she needed to talk about was paint. Imelda might not have been so cool with me poking around if I'd shown her the key I'd found.
Thank you. You have your own reason for taking the cloth. Please keep it.
So, her husband took secret boat trips. Did she really need to see the tickets?
Would you like a hairpin?
Would you like to see my favorite hair clip?
What a ridiculous question. Of course not.
Huh. Another time, I guess.
Hair clip, not
I
hairpin.
was sure that there was more to find. I just had to keep looking.
Okay, this is the exit door. So we have a cloth, and Miko mentioned she didn't want to cut herself here, so let's try this out. Or let's not. Okay, let's open this door.
Now we were getting somewhere.
Okay, we're in his office. I can
I
turn...
didn't need the lights
Oh.
on. It was light enough already.
Alright. What about the painting?
The painting showed the Cachons together, in love. As the poet said, the past is a different country. Or did I read that in a fortune cookie?
Okay, and what is...
The painting was attached firmly to the wall.
What is this?
There was the very faintest of clicks.
Ah,
Behind the picture was a safe.
okay, I believe I might have that key here. No?
The safe was locked. I needed the key.
I thought this was the safe key. Ah.
In the safe was some kind of artifact. There were strange symbols on its surface. It looked like the printer's blocks I'd made at art school. If there was one thing I'd learned about symbols, they are always important. But these symbols scratched into stone were impossible to read. I needed to find a way of printing them. At least the stone was round. But what could I use for ink? And what could I print on? Sure, I was stealing, but I knew Imelda didn't know about the artifact, and Cachon was past caring.
Okay, I believe we can use the blue paint. and the cloth we found.
This wasn't the time for me to lie on the sofa doing my Marie Antoinette impression. Though it is very popular at parties, especially with gay guys. Don't ask me why.
I can't look at the window. Can I look at the desk?
As expected, the desk was yet another priceless antique. Yawn. The blotter and in tray had clearly been placed with mathematical precision.
I guess we can probably use this to help with the printing.
My heart skipped a beat. It was a carved elephant. But not just any carved elephant. It had been made by my father. I knew for certain because in my apartment I had its exact twin, carved into a box he had made. So Carchon had known my father. They really must have been friends. I decided to take the carved elephant. It clearly meant nothing to Imelda.
Did she mention this was a box?
It was the beautiful elephant my father had carved.
I guess not. Okay, I think I know what I have to do here. Can I open this door?
Locked. Not surprising, really.
Why is everything locked here? Okay, nothing else? Okay, let's work. So, if I would use the paint...
I'd spread blue paint over the bottom of the tray. It was ruined. I was a very bad girl, but also quite a clever one.
And now if we use the artifact with the paint, let's just roll it up.
I rolled the artifact in the paint until it was completely coated.
Isn't it the exact same symbol of this cloth?
No.
No?
Genius! The roller and the pen worked just as I planned. But what did it say? It was some kind of coded message. It read, "Sub judice." I may not have learned a lot as a journalist, but that was a term I knew well. It means a legal case that is before the courts. Below it was a sequence of letters that made no sense. I suddenly realized there was a connection between the boat ticket and the coded message. The boat ticket was stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. The conciergerie on the Ile de la Cité, by the river, housed the ancient law courts. So, sub judice could in this case mean literally under the law courts, below the conciergerie. I was pretty sure I'd found all I could here. And besides, all this opulence was making me pine for my regular life of poverty. This was a huge story. It was also one heck of a puzzle with a lot of pieces missing. But I was going to crack it. And if I could just remember the name of that fancy prize you get for being an ace journalist, I was definitely going to win it this time.
So we got everything? So why did I need the cloth here?
The cloth was embroidered with an unusual symbol.
Odd. Okay. Maybe I'll need it later, but I guess I could have left without picking it up. Okay. Let's move on. Come on, Nico. Let's say goodbye and leave.
Did you find anything useful?
This carving, do you know anything about it?
It was Pierre's. What does the statue have to do with...
Please, I need to know.
He was given it by a friend. Something to do with Africa.
He never explained any more.
No. But I think it was important to him. Always on display. Why?
It was carved by my father.
Oh, I see. I didn't know.
Imelda, I will do everything I can to find the killer.
Thank you, my dear.
And if the police ask,
Don't worry. You were never here.
sub judice was the key. I was going to have to find a way under the conciergerie. I decided to head straight for the quayside on the Ile de la Cité. If there was a way of getting under the conciergerie, it would have to be from there.
I wonder what would happen if I had picked the options to be mean.
Canchon wasn't the type for messing about on the river. He was up to something down here. Something that got him killed.
Alright. Let's see here.
The fence wouldn't move.
Is this something? No. Just a different colored brick. Oh, I know that symbol.
This fence wouldn't move either. I wasn't leaving yet. I had a hunch there was more to find.
I guess I can't use the stairs. Okay,
The cross looked familiar. I'd seen it before.
I
It was
know.
embroidered on the lace cloth I'd picked up at Carchon's apartment. I knew I was on the right track.
Let's try the door.
I tried pushing the fence, but it wouldn't move. A strange pair of locks stopped the latches from releasing the gate.
Interesting. You must move the rectangular blocks so the latch can slide all the way across, so releasing the gate to open. Blocks move along their length, some vertically, some horizontally. To move a block, click on it and drag it horizontally or vertically along the appropriate axis. So I guess this can only move, yeah, horizontally and this one vertically. Okay, so we need to release this. How? Something like this, maybe. Maybe not. This feels a bit like a mess. I think this couldn't stay here. Move this all the way here. And stuff. Aha!
Yes! One down, one to go.
Is this the same mechanism? I wonder. This, yes, I know. It's the same thing.
Rolling out the painted cylinder, it read, Sub Judice. Below it was a sequence of letters, S, D, S, S, D, S, S.
I was wondering if the letters had any connection to the locks, but I don't think so. Oh, these can move like this. Interesting. Guess you can move one of these down. That's good, I guess. This one up. This one down. Maybe up. I need to move this over one or something. But I guess I will leave that for next time, because our time for this episode is over. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the first episode of Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, and I will see you all next time.